This is the Clear Money Talk podcast, offering up creative solutions for your retirement future through education, choice, transparency, and empathy. Now, your host, CEO and founder of Clear Financial Partners, Tim Claremont.
Welcome to Clear Money Talk. I am your host, Tim Claremont, and as always, here with the amazing. I'm going to run out of subject.
You can just say I'm here with Tyler.
Tyler. You guys know Tyler by now. If you don't know Tyler by now, you should.
Go listen to the other podcasts.
The old ones. Yeah, you'll get to know Tyler.
And I'm here with Tim.
Yeah, it's Tim and Tyler.
Yeah, we're in a podcast studio. We're having fun.
That's right.
We're excited about this topic today.
We are actually, yeah. So we asked you previously, send us some suggestions for any kind of money-related questions that you have. And apparently, just many of you are very, very shy. We haven't received a lot of questions yet. Don't be shy. You can just email them to us. That'd be great.
Right.
But in the meantime, we went ahead and said, hey, ChatGPT, AI, what do you think good questions are? And we got a good list of some questions from them today. We found one that we thought was pretty good that we haven't covered previously. So that, after wordsmithing it a little bit, this is what we got for you today. So
okay. Topic of the day: how do retirees create income beyond pensions and Social Security? So how do retirees create income beyond pensions and Social Security? I think this is probably going to be on the minds of a lot of people, no matter what stage of financial planning they might be in.
Yeah, I think that's fair. A lot of people, pensions generally speaking, are fewer and further between. I mean, if you're a government employee, you have a pension, and you're probably thinking that that's going to take care of everything for you. And there's a good chance that it's a lot of the pensions we've seen from government employees, teachers, police officers, firefighters. It's a huge revenue source for them in their retirement, and I'm really happy for them that they have that. We do a lot of work with pension planning and trying to get the most out of the pension. And then Social Security, getting the most out of Social Security seems to be on everybody's mind. It doesn't matter how much money you have or how little money you have. Social Security is a significant income source for these additional payments on a regular basis. But there's more to it than that. Just about everybody out there has another bucket of money, whether it's a small IRA or a Roth IRA or a 401k or a savings account, or maybe they have some rental properties or some businesses or other money other than Social Security and pensions. So answering this question felt like, let's pivot away from Social Security and pensions. Let's talk about some of the other things that people do to have additional retirement income coming in for them in the retirement years, and how we talk about that with clients, because we have those conversations all the time. So restating the question verbatim, what do we got here?
How do retirees create income beyond pensions and Social Security?
Okay.
So
where do you want to
go
first?
There's a lot of avenues we can go, because you already mentioned some of the categories that people often use to create additional income sources beyond their pension, Social Security, and retirement. Rental properties, some investment rental, or real estate. They might be a minority or the sole business owner of a business that's continuing to run itself and generate revenue and net profits to that business owner that they can live off of while somebody else is hypothetically running the business. And then we have more traditional stuff like 401ks, IRAs, Roths, that maybe people are saving a lot of money in while they're still working, and then they start to draw from those retirement buckets in retirement. So we could go down all these avenues.
All those are there. So
direct my energy here.
We're going to do this. Here's how we're going to do it. We're going to do it succinctly, the same way I do it with clients all the time when they come in and they sit down with me in a one-on-one capacity, and we go through my whiteboard. One of the things that I created about 13, 14 years ago now. Every year in January, I go out and I sit down with a yellow pad at a local Starbucks or whatnot, or maybe I'll have some of this wonderful coffee that we have here in the office. But regardless, I'll sit down with a yellow pad. By the way, we'll give you a cup of coffee if you come in for an appointment, just to let you know.
That's right.
We sit down with a yellow pad, and I'll ask myself the question, what more can I do for my clients this year? Because this is an at-will relationship. Clients are never stuck with us. They start working with us, and every year we have to earn their business. And so that year, I want to think, hey, look back at my year. How can I keep doing a better job for clients this year? And about 13, 14 years ago, I was looking at what we were doing. We were spending a ton of money, thousands of dollars, and countless staff hours on this amazing financial planning software. And the software was really, really cool. It could do all kinds of really neat stuff. But fundamentally, the clients I work with, they didn't really care. It wasn't something they were excited about. They just wanted to know, how much retirement income am I going to have when I retire? And Tim, am I doing smart stuff with it? And how can we do different stuff with it? And software wasn't answering those questions. I thought about the most common questions that were asked of us by clients. When clients call and ask us a question, and the kinds of questions that the software was answering are never the kinds of questions clients were asking. I've never had a client call me and say, hey Tim, what happens if you stress test my portfolio against a bear market for the next 2 years? How's it going to perform? Like, clients don't talk like that. Or can you run a 1,000 Monte Carlo simulations for me and tell me how that's going to work? Like, that's just financial planning nerd stuff, which we can do and talk about, that's fine, but most clients don't care. The more common questions we get are, hey Tim, I want to take a trip to Cabo in like 2 months. How much heads up should I give you, and which one of our accounts should we touch to get the money? I don't really care, but I should probably ask. And that's more like the kind of question we get from our clients. So I thought, what if I could just show you the money that I think you should touch first, second, third, and fourth? And as I went around the whiteboard, just showing the way my brain works and shares that information with everybody, what evolved is what we now call our clock presentation. We actually turned it into an app for a while and had it used and tried it. And we use it, other advisors are using this now all over the world. I've shared it with them and they're using it and it's great. It's a lot of fun. But the point is, the first money that people touch in retirement is that first quadrant of my clock presentation. It's what we call income sources. Mm-hmm. It's sources of income that as financial advisors, we can't do a whole lot about. We can give you some insights, we can talk about some stuff, but that's where that Social Security and pension plans are, obviously, which we're going beyond that. So beyond that includes positive cash flow from rental properties. So we definitely want to pay attention to your rental properties if you have any kind of investment properties. And the focus there isn't on how much is your gross rent, it's on your gross rent minus expenses. That's your positive cash flow. That positive cash flow can become a reliable source of income in retirement. You just have to anticipate what your expenses are going to do and what your rent might do over time in your retirement years. And don't forget to include the cost of your time investment. Make sure that the time you're putting into fixing up a rental, turning a rental property, managing, dealing with the tenants. I've heard clients refer to the 3 T's, toilets, tenants, and trash. It's not fun. If that's costing you time, there is an opportunity cost that goes beyond just dollars. And make sure that you're aware of that too. We have several strategies for clients when they're done with their rental properties, where we can look at transitioning some of that equity in a tax-efficient way to an investment strategy that's a little bit lower maintenance. And you can take a look at our previous podcasts about DSTs, Delaware Statutory Trusts, and some of those options. If you want to learn more about 1031 exchanges and things along those lines. But positive cash flow from rental property is certainly a reliable option and certainly worth giving some consideration to. Royalties, I always say if you've done something famous on the internet, you got like a cat video or something and you're getting advertising, like good for you. Or maybe you have some mineral rights and you collect royalties from that, or maybe you made a rap video or something like that a long time ago and you're good.
Collecting a paycheck.
That's great. Royalties are great. They're few and far between. Don't have a lot of clients that have royalties, but if you do have royalties, it's a wonderful additional income stream in your retirement. And paying attention to taxability associated with that, as well as the ongoing transition rights beyond your lifetime. Who gets your royalties if something happens to you, and so on. Those are all the kinds of things we can also help clients with. Then you move into passive income from ownership of a business. So if you got like 25 Taco Bells or something like that, collecting income from that can be a passive income stream in addition to Social Security and pension plans. And then any full-time or part-time employment that you want to count on. Mm-hmm. So if you're working in retirement and you want to count on that, that's another source of income. I don't usually recommend clients count on working, because if you are counting on working, you're not really retired. You're visualizing as like, I need that paycheck. And that may be the situation that you're in. Just be aware, health problems is one of the main reasons why people retire, and it's usually not by choice. So if you're really counting on continuing to work, give serious consideration to what happens if you can't work anymore. Are you still going to be okay financially? And make sure that you're prepared for that. Because long-term disability insurance, if you get disabled, is only designed to cover replacement of your income up to age 65 or 67. If you're planning to work past 67, there's no insurance that's going to pay for your inability to work anymore because you've had health problems. They expect you to be retired and financially independent by 65 or 67. They're not, most insurance companies are not designed to produce retirement income for you beyond 67. That's just not the way that disability insurance works anyway. There are other kinds of insurance that can do that, but not disability insurance. Anyway, I'm monologuing. That's good. That's category 1, income sources. We can move to category 2 next, but any additional thoughts on that, Tyler?
No, that was super succinct. I'm happy you brought up working. I think that's kind of a taboo thing for people. More of an old school thought, I would say, that people say, once you retire, you're retired, you're done, you don't work any longer, you live off of what you got, and that's it. And it's becoming less of a taboo thing these days, where people find passion in working. They find a passion hobby, or they just enjoy putting their boots on and working, and being a productive member of society, and whether that's a small portion of income that they're using in retirement or if it's a large portion of it, if that's your vision for what you want, there's nothing wrong with that. So I'm happy you brought that up, and that fits well with quadrant 1.
Yeah, those are all the income sources where we can discuss it with you, we can strategize what to do about it, but ultimately the size of that income is up to you. Mm-hmm. You're the one who's going to be managing those rental properties to get higher positive cash flow. You're the one who's going to be making famous stuff on the internet to get your royalties, and you're the one who's ultimately got to sell your minutes if you're going to work for full-time employment, or also your smart strategies in running a business. If you're running a business, you're collecting passive income from that. It's very much about your skill set, your knowledge based on what you've built. We're there to guide you and give some insights into maybe the long-term what-if factors on some of that, and making sure that income stream continues to be successful for you and passes to where you want it to go if something happens to you. But the size of that total paycheck part 1, everything that you just added up, all that stuff we talked about, that's what we call paycheck part 1. And if that's enough money for you to retire on, kudos. Most of our clients don't have things other than Social Security. Frankly, many of our clients have a lot of those other things. Some have pensions, as we talked about. We certainly have clients who have positive cash flow and rentals and royalties and passive income from ownership of a business. I can't think of a single client that has all 5. Most of the time you don't have a pension and have passive income from a business and have royalties and all that. I mean, that'd be cool. It would be kind of cool, but you're a government employee and the pension to work with. If you have all 5, you got to come just because that's like the unicorn, right? Yeah. We got to work with you. But my point is, most people don't have all 5. That's very normal. Many people just have Social Security, and for most of our clients, part 1's not enough. You need part 2. And part 2 is that proverbial goose that lays the golden eggs. And that's really what we're experts in. That's the stuff that we help our clients with all the time. And it's the total of the investment assets that you have. That's what comprises the goose. So take all your investments that you want to produce income in retirement with. That could be 401ks, 403bs, simple IRAs, SEPs, traditional IRAs, Roth IRAs. It can be LERPs, life insurance retirement plans. It can be in normal investments, a diversified brokerage portfolio of stocks or bonds or ETFs or mutual funds, or all of the things that you say, yeah, all this stuff, I want to produce income from this in retirement. Okay, that's what we help you with. We take that big, blob of stuff, and we invest it smartly so that you can actually get a reasonable, predictable retirement income, manage your taxes as effectively as possible while integrating in all of those other sources from quadrant 1 as well, that paycheck part 1. So the proverbial goose that lays the golden eggs are paycheck part 2. And getting the biggest egg off a goose, that's what we do. And there are a lot of cool strategies for how we do that. We can kind of go into some of that, give you a little bit of insights, everything from bucket planning, where we look at how much of your money should be for now, soon, and later, to guaranteed income sources like annuities, whether it's variable annuities or fixed indexed annuities or fixed annuities or single premium immediate annuities or deferred income annuities or all the other kinds of annuities that exist. Annuities is like saying Coca-Cola, by the way. It's like saying soda pop, right?
Yes.
So it's a huge category, but there's a big difference between Coca-Cola and Pepsi, and there's an even bigger difference between like Dr. Pepper and Coca-Cola, right? I mean, they're all different. That's kind of the way annuities are too. So there's just a lot of differences there. It's a big category, and you got to understand it if you want to use that category at all in your planning. And we are experts in that. So happy to talk about that too.
Yeah.
Again, the coffee's getting into me. I'm monologuing, not giving Tyler enough time to talk. So Tyler's nodding if you're watching the YouTube video.
I'm just like, yep.
He's like, yep.
That's right. That sounds good. I like that. I would have said that. Yep.
That's good.
Glad you did.
All right. That's good. Yeah. So bucket planning and annuities with guaranteed income streams. There's some other stuff we do too. What are you? Anything you want to add on to this, Tyler? What are your thoughts? I took all the easy stuff, so now I'm going to
you're just like, here's the layups. Tyler's shooting a half-court shot.
That's right. Go for it. Yeah.
No, man, you hit it on the head.
All right.
I think we can go down the rabbit hole of the different gooses that lay the proverbial eggs. I don't know if the podcast is right for that or not. We have other podcasts that are more dedicated to what LERPs are, to what annuities are, to diversified brokerage accounts and how to structure those in a bucket planning philosophy behind it. So we have all those things. I don't know if this podcast and going into the weeds on that stuff is the right place for it, though.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think that there's a lot of information you could unpack from our previous podcasts if you want to go back and listen to some of the ones that sound interesting to you. Or, frankly, the easy button. I love that advertising thing. It's like the easy. Was it Staples?
It was Staples.
The easy button thing where it's like, that was easy.
Yeah.
Easy button. the easy button for this stuff is you don't have to listen to our podcast. You just call us, you come in for an appointment, and then we just take care of you. That's how it works. And,
that's true.
And you're informed and taken care of, and you're doing smart stuff. But if you don't want to push the easy button, if you want to push the slightly harder button, you can listen to our podcast. And if you want to push the really hard button, you can just try to do it on your own and go research all this stuff, which it's really hard to catch up to us. I mean, I've been doing this since 1997. I've been doing this for 27 years now. And most people think I'm crazy because I'm still doing this, but I love it. It's like
we need good people like us to do this. I mean, there's a clear lack of financial education, reliable sources of information, reliable people out there. There's vast more people out there that need the help than there are people providing help.
Absolutely.
We got to keep doing this for you guys.
I mean, I'm not going to say we're the only people out there either. Then we're not saying that. I want to be clear. We have some great friends all over the world that are great financial advisors that have the right mentality, the right spirit, the right ethics, the right thought process, the right commitment to doing right. And maybe you're working with one of them, and that's beautiful. Like we don't want to replace good relationships, but we know that the need for our services is far greater than the supply of people capable of providing those services. And that's something that is just a truth that I've observed as I've traveled the world, talked to other advisors all over the place. There's just a lot more people that need our help, and the only thing stopping you from getting our help, if you're listening to this and you're like, oh, I love learning this stuff, like, oh, there's some kind of mental hurdle if you're not already a client of ours that's stopping you from reaching out and making that call. If you already have a great relationship, you just like learning this stuff, cool, keep learning it, keep listening. But if there's something that's holding you back and you're thinking, man, I just don't want to call them because either A, I don't have enough money yet, or B, I don't know if it's a good fit or whatever, or I live in another place. And we have clients all over the whole United States. I'm licensed in all 50 states. I have some clients I've never met face to face because we do things in Zoom now. And if you happen to be in the Portland, Vancouver area and you're listening to this and you haven't yet had a chance to chat with us, please reach out. Do that get acquainted call. It's 15 minutes. Takes no time at all. We'll chat with you, get to know you, and no harm, no foul, no cost, no obligation. Anyway, obviously we're passionate about helping people. Our podcasts are typically about education. That's the whole focus. I want to get back to educating and focusing on answering this question. So why don't we see what we can do with just the answer for this question today.
Do you want to go into any of your other quadrants in the presentation?
No, actually I could leave you hanging. You're going to have fear of missing out. So it's quadrant 3, quadrant 4. That's valid. Quadrant 3 is your liquid assets, your emergency money and your fund money. And then quadrant 4 is your backup and legacy assets, your assets you're going to leave behind. That's where the equity in your home, the equity in your business, the equity in your rental properties all goes up there typically as a legacy asset. And we certainly have processes for dealing with and addressing those quadrants as well. But as it relates to this question, primarily, sources of income in retirement beyond Social Security and pension plans, that's where, I'd say from that just the answer aspect, it's positive cash flow from rentals, royalties, passive income from ownership of a business, full-time or part-time employment you want to count on, which again, I don't recommend counting on that because you're selling your minutes and you're relying on your health to do that. Mm-hmm. And then passive income from investment strategies, which we have a variety of investment strategies, everything from LIRPs, life insurance retirement plans, to annuities of all sorts, so as broad as a topic as soda is, and as different in subtleties as Coca-Cola, Dr. Pepper, and 7-Up might be, as well as bucket planning and normal investment portfolios, which we'll often talk about soon, the soon money, the now money, the soon money, and the later money, and all of that is really a part of that. So just the answer is not, unfortunately, an easy answer.
Not a lot of what we do is easy stuff, unfortunately. Yeah. Because if it is, everyone out there in the general public would just do it themselves. They would DIY it and they wouldn't have to worry about working with a good financial advisor. But that's unfortunately not the case. A lot of the stuff is complicated. It's a little bit muddy. It's not as clear as water as we would hope so. So the answer is, how do I create retirement income beyond pension and Social Security? It depends.
That's right.
It depends, and it's what your vision and what you want out of your life and moving forward to look like. And,
I would say one other thing with that to throw in that we didn't talk about today is golden eggs off the goose are taxable, platinum eggs are tax-free.
Oh.
So we try to create the eggs off the goose and try to make them as tax efficient as possible. And by the way, we even have strategies where even if the goose dies, you still keep getting eggs. And
that sounds cool.
That's pretty cool too. So we want to have those paychecks coming in. So paycheck part 2 is tax efficient and reliable, and hopefully as large as we can possibly make it for you.
Correct. Nice.
Ready for
That
trivia?
was fun.
Yeah.
No, the question is, are you ready
Oh,
for trivia?
I don't know if I'm ready for trivia.
I got 3 for you this week.
Holy cow.
Yeah, they're quick, they're easy.
I literally, when I
They're
say
fun.
holy cow, though, I think about that. I'm like, is this cow like floating with like beams of light above it? Is that what people think of when they say holy cow? I don't know. Anyway, let's move on. Yeah. I digress.
That's a cool visual. Okay, let's move on to the trivia. You ready?
Yes.
Yeah, you're ready. What was the original purpose of the tiny pocket built into jeans?
Oh, boy, I would guess the original purpose.
The original purpose.
I would think, and so my gut says either a key or a coin. I could see a coin. I could see a quarter to make a payphone call back when they used to be payphones. I'm going to go with a quarter for the payphone, just in case you get in a tough situation.
Wrong.
I'm sure that was
okay.
Didn't it sound good though?
It sounded cool.
All right, what is the right
It's
answer?
the store of pocket watch.
Oh, pocket watch.
Wouldn't it be cool if we started wearing pocket watches again?
It would.
Sounds like what time is it? You're just like, hold on.
Like, that's a good idea. What time is it? Pocket, yeah. Okay, that's all right. Storing a pocket watch.
Yeah.
That was the pocket in jeans.
You let your chain hang out, you know? a little-
Right. Oh, so that's where the
Okay.
chain came from. We still see those all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
It's usually not a pocket watch on the other end. No, I don't think.
Okay, no, most of the
All
time.
right. What else?
Okay, next, what does SPF in sunscreen stand for?
Oh, I think it's sun protection factor.
It is.
Ah,
Sun
look at that. I got
protection
one.
factor.
One and one so far. Sun
There you go.
protection factor.
All right.
That still sounds like a made-up term, but I get it. It's fine. If I was making sunblock, I think I would come up with something called
Yeah.
sun protection factor too.
Okay, this one, Tim, I generated just for you.
Okay.
You're a big lover of this show.
Okay.
You and Crystal, Tim's wife.
All right.
In what country did the first season of Survivor take place?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, and I gotta go down to episode 1. Richard Hatch and Susan and oh man,
Colby.
Yeah, Colby. Oh, there's so many heroes from
Those were the days.
episode 1. This doesn't feel right. When the Borneo comes into my head, but I don't think that's right. I feel like that was a later show. I know season 2 was the Outback, which is Australia, because I remember that definitively. I'm trying to remember season 1 with it was it's obviously the islands, they're fishing, all that, and they keep doing Fiji over and over and over again. I don't know. I'm just gonna go with Fiji. I don't think
You're on the right track. Malaysia.
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 Oh, really? Oh, Malaysia.
Yeah.
I have a really good friend from Malaysia, so yeah. Yeah.
He's good people.
He's good people, and we reserve the right to say they're good people. We use that sparingly, so
that's true.
He's good people. We don't say that.
Yeah. But does he have a podcast?
I don't know.
Yeah.
His name's Tian.
Tian, if you're listening.
Tian, if you happen to listen to my podcast and you actually hear me referencing you right now, you're good people, my friend.
Yeah.
You're good people. So I guess that's it. So one for 3 today. That's just not very good statistical odds. Rest assured that we usually do better than 1 for 3 when it comes to planning for retirement income.
That's true. Well, last podcast you had me leave the viewers with a word of wisdom.
Well, I like that.
This is your turn. Your words of wisdom.
Oh no! I think
we got to switch on.
I think we're not going to. I think we need to finish it with Tyler's words of wisdom.
No, because I'm not prepared. I use my own.
You're not supposed to be prepared. That's okay. All right. Words of wisdom. We'll both work on it. We'll see what pops up here.
Okay. Let's give it 2 seconds.
Oh, words of wisdom. Earworms. Yes. Things like the Jeopardy thing. Don't let your brain fill up only with stuff that means nothing to you or is unimportant.
Oh.
Yeah. You be intentional about the things that you choose to put in your head. I thank you for listening to the podcast. Anybody who's gotten to this point is choosing to put some information in their minds that I think will actually add value for you. Yes, have a good time. Yes, enjoy life. But there are a lot of things stuck in our heads that frankly will probably never add value. And when I think about that Jeopardy theme song, that's an example of one of them. But it's okay. So keep putting valuable stuff in your heads. And I hope you continue to get ROI on your minutes by listening to the Clear Money Talk podcast. So there's my words of wisdom for the day.
I like it. We'll end with that. Thank you guys for listening. Till next time.
Investment advisory services are offered through Clear FP Advisors, LLC, or registered investment advisor. Securities are offered through Clear FP Securities, LLC, member of FINRA IPC. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or a recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments may fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. Financial professionals are not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if Timothy Claremont is licensed in your state, please contact his office. Clear FP Advisors, Clear FP Securities, and Clear FP Life LLC are not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide tax and/or legal advice. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Clear FP, LLC NPN number 194283777 and/or Clear FP Securities NPN number 197499604. Any discussion of general investing strategies or specific securities are for conversational purposes only and should not be taken as a guaranteed endorsement or recommendation.